Ladies and gentlemen, how are you? It really is the latest show for true crime on YouTube, being like 5 a.m. in the morning, at least at least for tonight. It is good to see you. You guys can all watch on the replay. I just had a lot of updates I really wanted to get out tonight because the true crime world moves so fast that by tomorrow it'll be something else, and we'll have 50 other things to talk about. But this one's really important. The one we were talking about yesterday about that girl missing out of Harnett County. Two people were charged in connection with that Amber Alert for that missing teenager. And the story behind it is literally every parent's worst nightmare. I don't think I've heard of something. I mean, I have. I mean, that would be a lie. But it is pretty one of the more disturbing cases that I think I've read this year. It's pretty bad. Guys, how are you? Good to see you all. Hey, oh, that the camera's over here now. Hey, good to see you all. It's really late. It's about 10:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Savings Time down here tonight. So it's quite late. It's Friday night down here, and the reason I'm on this late, I've been unfortunately suffering with my insomnia again, and I haven't been sleeping very well. I've been getting up very very early in the morning. If you're on my Twitter, you will know because I've been posting at like 4 a.m. in the morning Australian time, and I've been getting like 2 hours of sleep here and an hour there, and I got to about 3 o'clock, and Trish was still on the air, and I went, you know what I'm gonna do? You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna get 15 minutes. I'm gonna get a small cat nap in, and I woke up at freaking 5:30, and I was like, all right. I slept for like way longer than I was supposed to, and yeah, so I missed the show time today. Sorry about that. But yeah, I'm awake now. Let's talk about it now. Might as well. But yeah, this story out of Harnett County, it was a little weird this morning, very early, local time in Carolina. They just put out a message saying it was resolved. Like they canceled the alert. They didn't even tell us if she was safe. They were just like, "Oh yeah, yeah, we don't need that alert anymore." Even though we were 2 hours late, we still don't need it. And we're like, is she alright? Did they find her? Is she back with her parents or something? And then about what was it about two? No, it was like 8 hours later or something. They ran a press conference in the afternoon, and the press conference opened up a lot of details about like how this happened, what happened to her, and where she is now. From what I understand, she's supposed to be reunited with her family this evening, your time, and she'll go home shortly after that. She seems to be okay. Okay is a relative term. Physically okay, mentally, spiritually, I don't know. Um, this will be a frightening incident for her, probably for the rest of her life, I'd say. Let me grab here. So these two people, these two men, obviously very upstanding citizens, men you'd like to take home to see your family, of course, right in front of you right here, have been arrested and charged over it. Now, so one is last name Mailer, 31, from Virginia Beach, Virginia, and a 23-year-old called Austin with a really weird spelling with a Y in the end, but sure, we'll do that. Austin Lee Cole of Kitty Hawk. Now, they face charges of felony human trafficking of a child victim, felony kidnapping, felony conspiracy to kidnap, and felony conspiracy human trafficking. So they're gonna have a fun time in prison. They're saying here that the 15-year-old girl was found Thursday morning in Dare County along the North Carolina coast, and that she had not been reunited with her family as of yet. She was in the hospital getting checked out, which is a good thing. And they had a press conference. Let's see if I can play it or not. I won't play all of it. I just want to play the important bits. Yeah, here it is. By the way, it's courtesy of ABC11.com, who did amazing coverage of this, by the way.
Good afternoon. Thank you for coming. Most of you pretty much know why we're here. First of all, let's start out with this. I want to thank our Lord and Savior for helping us return this girl safely to her family and the protection that He gave for all the agents that were involved in this apprehension of the suspects. So I just want to get that behind us because I think that's very important for why we're here today, or part of the reason why we're here. Joining me today, I got a few folks up here. SBI Director, Mr. Chip Hawley. Also have with the FBI, Mr. Philip Van Weingartner. I got that correct. Our District Attorney, Suzanne Matthews. Some members of the Sheriff's Office that have worked around the clock on this, as well as the other agencies. An operation like this, how we get things accomplished is how we all come together, work together to make this happen. So it's a blessing for any sheriff or chief of police to have this kind of support to help us, because we can't do it by ourselves. And the results of what happened are because of these folks and the people that work for them. I'm going to start this out. The missing juvenile was located early this morning in Dare County, North Carolina, by agents with the North Carolina State Bureau of Investigation, the FBI, Kitty Hawk Police Department, Dare County Sheriff's Office, and Currituck County Sheriff's Office. The Virginia Beach Police Department assisted in the investigation. The juvenile appeared not to have any injuries, but was transported to a local hospital for evaluation. The locating of the juvenile was the result of an extensive investigation by the above agencies. Each of the participating agencies worked together, utilizing their own but cohesive use of law enforcement tools to further the investigative process. Key avenues to success this case relied upon court-approved methods for serial analysis and social media review to locate the missing juvenile and the suspects. As you may know, we have arrested two of the suspects. First was Elihu Martin Mahler, age 31, black male from Virginia Beach, Virginia. He was charged with human trafficking, child victim, felony kidnapping, felony conspiracy to kidnap, and felony conspiracy human trafficking. Also arrested was Austin Lee Cole, age 23, white male of Kitty Hawk, North Carolina. His charges were human trafficking, child victim, felony kidnapping, felony conspiracy to kidnap, and felony conspiracy human trafficking. Also, ask for your privacy for the family. Now, I do have a message from the mother. Speaking with her, obviously she's very elated that her daughter is being returned back this afternoon. And she wanted to thank all the agencies that were involved with this. But at this time, I think all of you can appreciate that she wants her privacy and her family right now. And so I ask that you honor that. Obviously, I can't make you do it, but just think about if that was your daughter. So keep that in mind. I know you have a lot of questions. You got a job to do. Also, one I failed to answer is some of the agents here at the Sheriff's Office. I've been up here for the last 2 days, and this went on all night long. There was agencies. They never left. They were right here in this room.
So I'll stop it there just for a second to answer a couple of questions. Where is the sheriff? I don't know. This is Harnett County, so it may be a different. This guy may be the Harnett sheriff. I'm guessing. Let's see. Hey, RX girl, how are you, my friend? I fell asleep early last night because I had to wake up early. Can you do a fast recap? So this is in relation to the Amber Alert that we spoke about on last night's show. It was a teenage girl missing very early in the morning, like 6 a.m. in the morning, went missing from her property. And it took a few hours for her mom to realize that she wasn't there. And this story actually it could have been much worse. They tried to do an Amber Alert when the police first were notified that she was missing, they contacted the clearinghouse to do the Amber Alert, and they've been doing some upgrades on their Amber Alert system with the new vendor, and something went wrong. And it took them over 2 more hours to get that Amber Alert to go out. We're very lucky, considering this was not like a false alert where this child had run off with a boyfriend, and then returned or something, which we've seen before. This was a full-blown, this girl had been groomed and then taken from her home. This could have ended way, way, way worse. And getting that information out, like those Amber Alerts, is of utmost importance. It really is. So I don't think we're allowed to use the name anymore. They want us to not use her name now that she's been recovered. But I might be able to show you my thumbnail from last night. It should have it on there. Breaking news story. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I can do that, but I have to fix this. Hold on. I just have to black out her name. Where is it? No, that's not what we want. Yeah, we could do that. All right. I'm going to crop it so it takes out her name. All right, there we go. Good work, Ping. Good work. All right, that should be it. So I'll show you the original Amber Alert, but I've cropped out her name. It has So this was the Amber Alert out of Harnett County. It was this young lady here on the left here. So she's 15 years old, 5'4", missing from Story Acres in Spring Lake. And she went missing very early hours of the morning. And this is the continuation of it, that they actually found her. But these 2 guys had been grooming her, basically, via online. At the end of this press conference, they actually have a very long chat about making sure you know what your children are up to, especially with online, and how tech savvy the teenagers are now. Like, they know more about encryption and messaging apps than some of us adults do. And to have open and honest conversations with your children to sort of teach them what is out there in the real world. And if they know about it, then they can make a decision based on what they see. He was saying that possibly if you have these type of conversations with your children and make sure they're not like super sheltered and they understand what's going on in the world, that they will have better decision making than they would otherwise. But they do go on to say that teenagers have issues where adults don't. Adults are able to see a few steps ahead, right? So when we're faced with a situation, we can go from our experience in life and stuff like that. We can say, okay, well, if I did this, these are my repercussions, or if I did this, these are the repercussions. But teenagers at this age don't always, they can't foresee as far as adults can, because they don't have that life experience yet to know how to do that fully. They can do it a little bit, but just not as advanced as some of the older people like me, some other people, you guys. And it's a downfall of being a teenager. They just see what they want to do, and then they just want to make that happen. They can't see like 2 steps ahead. They can't see what would happen if something went wrong. And they're saying that if you talk to your kids and try to explain this type of online behavior of predators, that you'll give your kids better tools to be able to avoid a situation like this. Like these 2 absolute scumbags. Here they are. Let's show their faces. Why not? Here we go. Look at these 2. They took a child from her home and tried to cross county lines with her. Well, they did cross county lines. She was found in coastal Carolina. But I think they were headed back to Virginia. So who knows what would have happened if she made it all the way out of the state. This could have ended up way, way different. Very awful. Woman of Steel said teenagers are usually pretty trusting. I think teenagers accept most people at face value because not that they think the world's safe or anything. It's just that they want to believe that most people are good, and most of the time in their their life, most people are fairly decent until they're not. So I get that. Hey, good night, my friend. Good night, Kathy. I'll see you later. Hey, Kibby. How are you, my friend? I've really missed you. How have you been? I've missed seeing you in the chat each night. Hopefully, when we come back to the 9 o'clock show, in about a week. When is it? Hold on. Oh, I lost everything. All right, we're back. Um, oh, actually, from this Monday, Monday the 3rd of March, we'll be back to 9 p.m. Eastern shows. Monday to Thursday. Monday to Thursday will be 9 p.m. Oh, I think it'll be 8:30, but yeah, around 9 p.m. So you guys can check out those early shows from now on. Woman of Steel says Scuzzy. Yeah, Scuzzy. Yeah, good night, Kathy. Hey, my friend. Hey, Betty C. How are you, sweetheart? You know, I always have a hug waiting for you, Betty. Any day. I always have a hug for you. Yeah, I missed you too. I hope you're doing well. It's really good to see your avatar in the chat. Really is. Uh yeah. Let's go back to these guys. Just I can't even imagine what would have gone wrong if this went backwards. There should be a bit down here about how she was. So the FBI assistant special agent who worked on this said, people need to understand no minor goes willingly in this type of situation, no matter what the minor says, right? Because they're a child. They say anytime you get a minor engaging with a predator online and they do something in the real world, or for that matter, they do something online, they are minors, they are victims, they're being manipulated. This is very true. Minors can't give you consent for anything. They said the FBI and other agencies used technology to find the teen on Thursday morning. Members of the North Carolina State Bureau of Investigation Criminal Apprehension Team used electronic and other advanced surveillance techniques and gathered information indicating the teen had been taken to Virginia Beach and Kitty Hawk, so she was far from home. With the help of Kitty Hawk Police Department, state and federal agents found the teen at a home in Kitty Hawk. He added that this case is a reminder to all parents to look at their children's devices and conduct spot checks that everything is above board. Wherever children are on the internet, predators will find them on the internet. Our children are extremely technically savvy, oftentimes maybe more so than we are. What they lack is a real world experience and the decision making skills to understand consequences of these sorts of engagements. Authorities said that after an investigation found information to meet the requirement and criteria for the state, an official request for an Amber Alert was sent out on Wednesday morning. Yeah, absolutely brutal. It's the stuff of nightmares for parents. It really is. But great use of technology. So from what I understand, one of the things they used was under federal law, they used an activation under the Amber Alert and Endangered Child Act. And what they were able to do is they were able to use cell tower triangulation and ping data from the cell phone to help narrow down a location for her, but very quickly. This type of thing normally takes a bit of time. My understanding, if I'm a cop and I call up and I say I call Verizon and I say I've got a missing child, this is their cell phone number. Normally, without a subpoena or a warrant, they can give you a last ping location. And this is about all they can give you, except for maybe numbers they've been texting or something like that. But from what I understand, they actually use multiple towers in this one. And that's a more advanced technique of what they call triangulation. So very cool that they were able to get it done very quickly. Normally, it's much harder and it takes a lot of time. Like it's like a 2 week process. You're looking at different data access and this and mapping, and it's a bit of work. So the fact they're able to turn this around so quickly and track her down was brilliant work by the FBI and the North Carolina State Bureau of Investigation. They did a great job. Hey, Rightfield. Hey, good to see you. LMS83 said that's awesome that they could find that info so fast. It's an interesting technological tool. It comes with privacy concerns though for everyone, and as someone who understands this type of technology very intimately, I worked as a network engineer for many years, and I worked on different technology, cell towers, wireless stuff like that. Um, it's in one way concerning, but in one way a good thing because we can find children and bring them home to their parents. But misused, it's very dangerous. Very dangerous. It's yeah, there's some interesting things you can do with that type of technology. Uh, Sort of like the Stingray. You guys have heard of a Stingray? A Stingray it's a cell phone tower, but it's like a honeypot. So it's a fake cell phone tower that they force connection of a target in an area, and it goes through that fake tower, and basically they can track the data and things like that, IP addresses, messaging, phone calls. So yeah, interesting stuff. Kibby said, so technology is good and bad. It's all about the parents being more involved. I think that's a good point. Maybe it should be like as a last resort, like y- what they say, prevention is better than a cure. It works the same in child cases too, especially cases like this. I'm not blaming the mum. I think there's a lot of busy parents out there who they just, not that they don't have the time, but they're tired. They're trying to do their work. They come home. They got to raise children, and they're very busy. But you got to make time for this type of thing and make sure you're involved in your children's online life. Maybe they're just looking up crap on TikTok about J-pop people, or maybe they're in one of those J-pop fan clubs or a Taylor Swift thing or something. That's cool, but it's when these people start messaging them asking for personal details, like what school do you go to, where do you live, what street do you live in, do you want to meet up? These should be your red flags that you're looking for. Hey, Rightfield. Yeah, I'm. I like to do these lives sometimes, very late at night, to give our friends in Europe and the UK a chance to come on here and be involved in a live stream. I like that. I see a lot of you in the comments. I've become very bad at replying to comments, but I promise I try. But I do see a lot of you. I read everyone's comments. Like every time someone leaves a comment under a video, I do read them. I often read them. My mind goes this way, and I get caught up in doing something else, and I forget to go back the other way. Blaze says, there was some creep grooming my son's friend when they were 14. I got involved when a package came from my son's friend at our house with no return addy. A catfish was sending a girl a phone. There was a case in Ohio, not like a few years ago, of a young, I don't know the correct word. Do we just say a black girl? Can I say that? A young black girl. She had a backpack sent to her home from Amazon and then went missing from that home. And I don't think they've ever found her. I don't think they've ever located that girl. She's still missing as far as I know. Actually, wait, hold on. Someone sent me something about her the other day. There was an update. I don't know why we never got to it. Give me 1 second. Let me check DJ's emails. I think there was an update about a week ago, and I don't know why we didn't do it. Hold on. Alright, while I'm going through my emails, I'll talk to you, but I'm just trying to look through DJ sends me a lot of emails, so I've gotta find the one that has the update in it. Not that one. Could have sworn he sent me an update with, we did a really big show on it like a year ago, and I was very passionate about helping this particular case. Sophia Franklin, no, we've done that. Mr. No, it's not that one. No, 30th of 1st. I don't think it was that far back. Cypress house fire. Hmm. I don't, maybe it wasn't DJ. I'm not sure what's going on. I'll track it down and then I'll tell you. But there was a case we were following like a year ago of a young girl, and she had been sent a backpack to her home and then just went missing. Um, yeah, that is good news that that 14-year-old is safe. Catfishing. Did you know? And we've done a few shows on this in the past. That in Australia, it is not a crime to catfish anyone. It is not a crime to catfish someone and pretend to be someone else. There is no law under which you can be charged under. Um, this is this was found out due to a very significant case that happened a bunch of years ago, but they still haven't changed the legislation down here to do anything with that. Asher Degree. Hold on, is that the one we're talking about? I did a big show on Asher a while ago. Asher, is this the one that? No, I don't think this is it. This was she disappeared in the year 2000. No, it's not that one, but yeah. There was a big update in that one. Warrant says suspect allegedly admitted to killing Asher Degree. I think we I think we did an update on that a while ago. Did they raid someone's home near where she was last seen about a few months ago? I think that's they did. No, it's not that one. If I track it down, I'll find it. Kibby said, "Not even false identity. That is awful." Yeah, it's Renee Marsden. Yeah, we've done a couple of shows on Renee in the past, but Renee Marsden is a tragic case. It's really sad. Her best friend catfished her, making her believe that she had a boyfriend who was in jail, and it got to the point where Renee actually called off a new romance with a guy she'd met through work, very lovely guy, because she felt so loyal to the catfish and this boyfriend in jail, and she called off this she liked the guy, he liked her. I think they would have been a very nice couple, and she threw it away because of this other romance to this online person she had never met. And it shows you how powerful these catfish can be. I mean, listening to that, you think, why on earth would anyone do that? You have a lovely guy in front of you or a guy you've never met. I think your mind tells you, "Oh, I'd take the guy if you're a female or you're gay or something." You'd be like, "Oh, I'd take the guy in front of me in a heartbeat. Why would I keep going with the guy I've never met?" But these catfish are so manipulative and they play on your emotions, and that's what happened to Renee. The catfish, every time something would go a bit weird, she'd be like, "Oh, I was put into solitary confinement and I got beat up in the prison yard," and like playing on her heartstrings. So yeah. Caroline says, I still don't know where our other friend Carolina is. I reached out to her, Carla. I reached out to her and I heard nothing back. So I don't understand. I hope she's okay. Last thing I want to hear is that there's something wrong and that she's in hospital or something like that. I hope she's just having a break from true crime. But she was such a great person, and I would love to have her back in the chat. Um, yeah, that's my son. That's crazy. I can't believe so many people have been affected. It's really bonkers. Um, all right. So that is good news, right? Hey, anytime we can get a child back and they're fairly okay, I'll take it. I'll take that rather than a child going missing and that we'll never see them again, or they wind up in a ditch somewhere, dead. So anytime that happens, I am all for it. And we get two scumbags off the street, two absolute, uh, you know, words I can't express because they should be in jail. Here they are. Dun dun dun. Look at these guys. What are you doing luring girls out of their home? Bloody, you know, like Kendrick Lamar says, their names need to be notified and put on neighborhood watch because these predators, they move in a flock. Yeah, Kendrick Lamar with the wise words of advice for the general public. Although he was talking about Drake, but that's something else. But good advice for the general public. All right. Let me get out of this. Good news on that. And that second Amber Alert. So we had two Amber Alerts yesterday, actually. We had a second one, another young girl. Ping, where's your freaking things? I had the links all lined up. Now they disappeared. Here it is. I got far too many tabs open. Yeah. Amber Alert cancelled for missing 15-year-old. Is it Siler City or Someone will tell me I'm wrong. So she's from a very similar area, not quite, but a little further away. So this is North Carolina again. This young girl had been missing since the 21st of February, and we posted about her, I think on Twitter. And they're saying that the police department said the team was safely recovered Thursday evening. So the North Carolina State Police have hit 2 home runs in one day in regards to Amber Alerts. They not only saved that 15-year-old girl, they also saved this 15-year-old girl as well. So they were able to get two of them back. This one doesn't have very many details, but they're saying that there is a press conference on Friday morning where they will again detail even more things about this particular Amber Alert and what happened and how they were able to find her. She was believed to be traveling with two males or two people. That was the advice that was out there before this came out. They were saying that there was supposed to be she was supposed to be two people. But again, good work. Two children recovered that won't go on that long-term Amber Alert list that Carolinas have. That is good news. So yeah, tomorrow I'll bring you more about that one. I want to talk to you about. We'll have a break because this is very sad news, right? One, I have a story about a shark coming up. You're gonna want to hear this one. But two, I search the news every day, and I'm always reading like 50 different newspapers. I noticed a weird trend today in the New York Post and the Daily Mail. They both had. Now, someone's going to be offended, but I think we need to talk about it. They both had articles about men with micro penises. I'm not joking. So there were two different stories. I read them both. One was about a girl who was saying how her boyfriend has one and how they have the greatest romantic relationship in the world and how perfect it is. And the second story in the Daily Mail was about a woman who picked up a guy randomly and went back to his home And when they went to, do the thing that everyone wants to do, she discovered that he didn't have anything down there, and she just left. She just decided that, I'm not gonna do that, and she just left. And it got me to thinking, what's going on in the world? Why are people writing stories about this? Why is this a thing? Is it National Micro Penis Awareness Week or something? Like, what is going on out there? How is there 2 stories about this in one day? Like, it's bizarre. Here, I'll show you. Probably something I shouldn't say after discussing that topic. Hey, I'll show you. That's, that might be grounds for some sort of, I don't know, something, a ban. Yeah, here. Look, there's this one, and then this one from the New York Post. Look, my boyfriend has a micro pineapple, and here's what our perfect romantic life is like. Here, she even posted a photo of him. Are you sure you're together? Because I have concerns. I have concerns that you're going to end up on some sort of like missing poster on like News 21 in like a week. We're going to be like, oh, didn't we see that girl in that article? Pretty sure she posted something about her boyfriend online on the New York Post, and like we're gonna find out that she went missing or something. That it feels like revenge. Like, why would you tell people about this? Like, this is not like, is nothing a secret anymore? Is nothing sacred? Is nothing sacred anymore? What if guys went around making articles saying, I don't know, I could think of several things to say about women that would be hyper embarrassing. What if, yeah, I could think of several. No, I'm not going to name them, but I could think of several things. Like, she even posted his photos, so like everyone's going to know now. This lady on this article did not, but she did detail her rendezvous with him. So I don't know what's going on in the world, but I don't think this is a topic that we need to talk about. I think we could all live without it. I don't think we need to know about size. You know what they say. Marjorie said I shouldn't laugh. It's a serious topic affecting 1 in every 10,000 men. Uh, Unbox Life with Laurie said, bigger question is why you call the New York Times after the day. No, she called the Daily Mail. The one on the New York, what is it? The New York Post. On the Post. She got recruited to do the article and then posted her boyfriend's photo. Poor guy. What's his name? I don't know what his name is Jake. Here's Jake. Jake is never going to be able to get a date ever again. Jake's unfortunately going to be persona non grata with women. Carolina says, yeah, it was probably that was a bad segue. We just talked about predators and we're like, hey, let's talk about guys with tiny pineapples. That was a bad segue. Marjorie said it's quite the overshare. I agree. But why 2 stories in 2 different papers from 2 different people? It's bizarre. Like, is there like a national association that I'm unaware of? Is there some sort of like, is like, what is it? February February 28th. Every 4 leap years, we celebrate men of this caliber. Every 4 years. Jake from State Farm? Yeah, it might be. It might be. It's not the wand, it's the wizard. That's what the girl in the other article said. The girl in the other article said, "Oh, I was going to stick around if he had a bit of skill. I was all right with it. I was going to hang around with him." But she's like, "This is a description, okay? Then we're going to go back to true crime, okay? I promise. I just like to have a little break and have a bit of a laugh because we talk about such serious topics. If we don't laugh sometimes, we'll all go crazy. I promise." This is how she described his moves, okay? Where is it? Uh, da, 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 da. She, she described it like something like like fumbling around in the couch for spare change. That's how she described his uh yeah, what he was doing. Yeah, here. I felt as if I were a couch. Oh, if I felt as if I were a couch cushion. He was trying to fish loose change out of. Uncomfortable, I squirmed away and excused myself to get a glass of water. Then she said, please call me. She asked her friend to please call me right now and make up an emergency that gets me out of here. So it's been a strange day in the news, considering we have so many very serious topics to talk about. Oh, okay, I will. Where is it? LMS. Where are you, my friend? She said, hey. What else did she say? You call them pinkies? Oh my god. Maryland, everyone's laughing. Oh, look, I'm glad I could give you a bit of a laugh because sometimes these stories are just so uh they're like the worst thing in society, right? And if we can't have a bit of a laugh every, like between stories, I think if I did this channel for the next 5 years, I might end up being some sort of offender. So or dinkers, petty. Yeah. I think if you end up in a news article, I'd be questioning my relationship status very quickly. JDR said, considering the average pineapple size is actually 5 2/3 inches, most people brag about their size. I think they said something like it's like 2 inches or something is what you need to be considered that designation. So there's your there's your funny story for the night. Now we get to talk about more people who die. So let's do that. All right. Here's your here's your Ping's shark story of the week. And the reason I wanted to tell you this is because it is brutal. I don't think I've heard of anyone dying like this in the Philippines. They say 2 Russian divers have died in the Philippines after being swept away by strong undercurrents, with one believed to have drowned and the other mauled by a horrifying shark attack. They say 4 Russian men aged between 18 and 57 were diving with a Filipino dive instructor in a popular destination near the resort area of Batangas on Thursday when they were separated by the current, according to the Coast Guard. While 2 members of the group and the instructor managed to swim back safely to their boat, 2 of the tourists, a person aged 29 and another one aged 39, went missing. The dive instructor and the other divers in the area, along with the Philippine Coast Guard, immediately launched a search. The first man was found by rescuers was pronounced dead on arrival at a local hospital. The second missing diver was found later that evening being attacked by sharks. And the headline here was that it ate his arm. They say the man lost his right arm in the vicious attack, with them saying it had been severed as the sharks pulled at him. And they have this video here. It doesn't show anything graphic, but it shows them finding the person Bob. I'm going to pause it. The guy's out here, out in the top part of the screen. I know it's a little hard to see, but yeah, he's that dark object out here on the waves there. Brutal. I don't think I've ever heard, like, what is with the sharks? I reckon they're rising up. They're going to form a militia and they're going to come after us. They're going to activate their own shark Skynet. And they're going to be like, AI and sharks are going to meld together and we're all going to be screwed because the sharks are going to come for revenge. We're going to have to do something. I don't know. Make them smaller or something. Talk to the guys on that other article. They know a lot about small things. Maybe we can make sharks like micro sharks. That would be an interesting proposition. But yeah, there you go. Brutal story out of the Philippines. Imagine that. You go diving You're having a great time seeing all the tropical fish, and then the undercurrent takes you away, and then the sharks get you. I can't think of anything more brutal. It's awful. It reminds me of that kid that jumped off the boat. Do you remember that? There was that kid, I can't remember what his name was. He was on an end of school trip in the Bahamas, Barbados, I can't remember. And he jumped off the edge of the boat. And I swear, I reviewed that footage a billion times. And you know, Ping knows a lot about sharks. I guarantee you that he got eaten by a shark. There is a shark in the water with him. You know, sharks when they swim and when they trying to get to someone, they make this very, very distinct S pattern in the water with their tail, and I see that next to that kid. Um, very sad, very sad. He had a bright future. Could have gone to college, become a doctor, you know, lawyer. Who knows? Could have become the dude who opened a store down the road. Doesn't matter. But he had a future, and unfortunately taken away from him. Yeah, you can see. I guarantee there's a shark down there. One night we'll do a big show on it, and I'll slow down the footage and I'll show you what I see. But I definitely see when sharks whip around with their tail, you get like this S pattern in the water. And when he's in the water and he's first, like when the film clip first starts, he's like up the top of the screen. Nearer to the boat, you see this kind of whipping motion, and it's like I can't think of anything else it could be. It's not waves, it's not current, it's not a rope in the water, it's not a buoy, it's not anything like that. And the sharks follow boats. Like I've been on heaps of boats, fishing, commercial, cruise liners. They follow boats because they think they're going to get food. Yeah, poor kid, poor kid. Can't remember his name was. I have to look it up. Robbins or something, or it's got double N in it. Maybe it's been a while since I looked into it. All right, there's your obligatory shark story. All right. I know everyone wants to talk about Gene Hackman, and it is really one sad, but also two very peculiar because I can't figure it out. Based on the information that we've been given about Gene and his lovely wife, I I can't figure out what happened. I've looked through all the data, and I really you know, you think, "Oh, could it be this?" And then you look at the information we do have, and it doesn't quite match. You go, "Oh, could it be a gas leak or carbon monoxide?" But carbon monoxide, there are some things that you can see from death. So you can see it visually. And they don't have any of that. Their autopsies came back tonight, and apparently there's no trauma, there's no anything that they could see. Now they've sent away for carbon monoxide testing and toxicology because they couldn't find anything. So it's very strange. The other weird bit I find is the description of his wife. The fact that he died in the mudroom, she died in the bathroom, and then there was a dog locked in a bathroom closet. That dog died, but another dog that was in the home survived, and then another dog that was outside, it survived as well. Now, a dog locked in a cupboard, you could understand would probably die, right? Like, 'cause it can't get food, it can't get oxygen, it can't get water. Yeah, I could understand. A dog that's free to roam around could survive for a while. Um, but you would think if it was a carbon monoxide poisoning, why did the other dogs not die? Yeah, and so I heard someone say, "Oh, maybe because they're close to the ground." Well, in the concentration in the air that you would need to kill humans, it would be enough to kill the dog even if it was low to the ground. It would kill everyone. By the time you had that deep concentration to kill two people in two different rooms, not a single room, like not like a bedroom or something, throughout the whole home, it would kill everything. So that doesn't make any sense either. The other weird thing is the pill bottle that was found with his lovely wife. They say that it was broken open and there were pills everywhere. So, Mrs. Ping was saying she thinks maybe Gene Hackman died from natural causes and that possibly in a state of distress and panic, that maybe she took her own life because she didn't want to live without him. And that's why she had the pills. That makes a lot of sense to me. I just don't know if it's true. But that, I've seen that in other cases where people just can't live without their partner and they just go with them. They just, they find it's very sad. Uh, but it's weird. This is a very strange case. How long were they deceased for? I heard up to 2 weeks. I don't know how long. I just heard up to 2 weeks. So is that a week and a half? Is that 5 days? Is that 12 days? I also the other weird thing is she was bloated, but he was not. And that's very strange. Was there a temperature differential between the bathroom and the mudroom? Because how come she was like, not trying to be rude, corpses, unfortunately, we all know have gases and people bloat in death, but he didn't. And that's a bit odd. Um, yeah, they also got partially mummified due to the uh, due to the environmental temperatures and conditions, which I was reading that in Santa Fe, New Mexico, is actually pretty common. They see it quite frequently due to their environmental conditions. It's not something they think is rare or anything. They see it quite a lot. Penguin said the dog was in the closet, but doesn't say the door was locked or even closed. I think the dog ate some. Yeah, that could be true. That the dog got so hungry that it tried to eat the pills and died. Yeah, I could see that, Penguin. I think a mudroom. I don't know. We don't use that term in Australia. That's why Cakespoo is asking because we don't use it here. I think it's like a room before you enter the home, and like you take your shoes off, right? It's so like when you've been out on the property and you're all dusty and muddy, and you just take your shoes off and enter the living area. Is that right? Is that what it is? That's what I would have assumed, but that is what it is? Yeah, that's what I thought. Like, you'd have, like, a bench in there where you'd sit down and you take your shoes off and kick them under the bench, and then you'd head into the home. It's just to keep the house tidy, like, you're not tracking mud into the home. Uh, LMS says, "The mudroom stays colder than my house because it's between the house and the garage and has no vents." That's an interesting observation. Wendy asks, says mudroom is an entry room, maybe common in old farmhouse to clean off. Yeah, like if you're working on the farm all day, you get dusty and dirty. You hop in, you take off your overalls and kick off the boots and head inside. Penguin said, yeah, you leave your wet umbrellas and muddy shoes. They're not super common in Australia. I do know some people that do have them. Mrs. Ping's parents' old house, they had a mudroom. That's not what they call it. Actually, hold on, she's here. Hey, Mrs. Ping, what was that room called at your old parents' home? Don't say the street, but you know that what we call it starts with a W. You know that little room when when we went in the front, it's got that little. We just called it a sunroom, right? Yeah, we just called it a sunroom, but they did have a mudroom at the front of their property. Cakespoo said, "Thanks everyone." No, thank you. Carolina said they resided in New Mexico. Yes, they did. Santa Fe. Gene Hackman was 90. No, he was 95, and his wife was 93. Wait, am I smoking crack tonight? I'm pretty sure they're 90. He was 95. Ping is pretty good with his details. Hold on. How much crack did Ping smoke tonight? Uh, how old was Gene Hackman? Let's see. Yeah, he was 95. See? Told you I'm good with my details. Like a foyer? Sort of. It's not really a foyer though. A foyer is like a little hallway that's like you walk down it and into the kitchen or the living room. No, a mudroom is like when you go in the front door, there's like a little room and then there's another door. So you would go like you'd go in there, then there's a little like sometimes there's a little seat or a bench, and then you go to another door. Normally both of them have heavy doors on it. Like I know at Mrs. Ping's parents' old house, the front door to the mudroom had like a big screen door and then a heavy door. Went in, and then there was a little like mudroom, sunroom, and then there was another door to enter the rest of the home, and it was a heavy door with a lock on it as well. So almost like a double protection. So 95, they saying 95. I know, right? Imagine getting to 95 and having this happen. You know, Gene Hackman was notoriously private too, extremely private. Really didn't like being in the media. It's actually one of the reasons he left Hollywood. He hated fame but loved acting. Um, that and he had a heart condition that the stress of being in Hollywood actually pushed him to leave and retire. But he would hate this. The fact that we're all talking about it and there's media articles and there's documents and autopsies, he would hate this. It would be like his worst nightmare. He doesn't like this type of coverage or, stuff like that. Betty says, I thought she died before him. She was part, yeah, her hands and her feet were mummified, which is interesting. Yes, it is. It's due to the conditions. He was a favorite. Yeah, he was a great actor. Great actor. Yeah, it is very odd. So I want everyone to have a think. We've all heard the stories. We've all read the documents that have come out. What do you think it is then? Like we've all witnessed different true crime cases, whether it be methanol poisoning or ethanol poisoning, whichever one it was, like carbon monoxide, people being poisoned with lead and things like that, or people have died natural deaths. And this, I'd like to know what you all think this could be because I'm at a loss. I really their their deaths don't mirror each other. Now I've heard a lot of people saying maybe they died one because it's happened a lot where a person has died and then due to grief the other person has died. That has happened a bunch of times, around the world, but their deaths don't mirror each other correctly. It's almost like she was doing something and then collapsed, and same with him. It's it's a very strange. Oh, is that what you think, catatonic? Why would they want them dead though? Do we know a motive? Everyone in CT has one? I didn't know that, Kibby. Yeah, that'll be interesting when we find out what those pills might have been. Yeah, that would be very interesting. No, no, that's not true. That's not true. There's a photo right here on the article of them last year. Here, here's them last year. There's Gene and his lovely wife. They were out in public. Not that they didn't go out. They just enjoyed their privacy. So a lot of things that he had the money to be able to just order it to his home. So if he needed something, a majority of the time they would just order it to the property, or you know, they were just very private. So if they went out to dinner, it was very private. If they went somewhere, they might order in. But yeah, he had enough money to make his life comfortable. And hey, that's pretty cool. I think we'd all like that. Unbox Life with Laurie said, could she have died first and he could not get out of bed, so he died? Hmm. Well, no, he was found in a mudroom. So he wasn't found in a bedroom. He was found like near the front door. So no, that doesn't make any sense. I don't know. The heater, they think maybe from when she collapsed and hit the ground, the vibration of her body hitting the ground made the heater fall to the ground. So they think that, yeah, the collapsing of her and the vibration made the heater fall. So I don't think they think that is anything, related. It may change, but that's the advice I've heard. Carolina says, I agree about Gene Hackman being a favorite, but I'm not sure about it being Red Drum. Yeah. No physical signs of trauma. Here, I can show you. If we go to Ping's uh Twitter right here. By the way, if you're not on the Twitter, you should be. I post all day long about stories that we don't cover on the channel. So at nights with Ping on Twitter. By the way, I want to shout out to the people who always like, retweet, and share everything I do. That is my friend Catatonic. I really appreciate it. Diane. There's a few. If I forget someone, they're going to be so mad. But there's so many great people who really do help out. Let me see. Grizzly Cat, my new friend. I really appreciate all of their help in trying to pump up the channel and show it to new people. It's extremely kind, and I'm always so grateful. It is a very nice thing that you do. Let me see. I've got a few people that I want to say. I'll find them near the end and I'll say thank you to them. But there's a lot of people who help out on the social media. Um, yeah, so this is the search warrant document here. Actually, let me take you to a different one where I can blow it up. Yeah, let's go here. All right, let's get out of this. By the way, Rachel as well. Rachel is very kind. Often helps with the social media too. Thank you, Rachel. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, me and Grizzly Cat have talked a few times. They're very lovely, a lovely person. Yeah, I'm hoping maybe I can have a talk to the big boss lady at some point. Maybe we can do something in the future. Maybe I can help her with an Australian case. Maybe with the mushroom trial coming up. I know she likes trials and trial coverage. So maybe we can do something with that in the future. I'll ask Grizzly Cat when I get closer to it. All right. All right. All right. All right. Let's go here. All right. All right. So unfortunately, this is the biggest I can make it for you. But it says in the matter to the issuance of a search warrant in regard to a two-story residence that has an olive green color stucco, there is a flagstone near the front entrance of the residence. Wait, why are we reading this? Don't worry about that. They're just talking about items to be seized, anything ignitable, flammable, or explosive or combustible. They're looking for that. They're saying any documents which appear to be personally identifying information of Eugene Jean Allen Hackman or Betsy Arakawa. They're looking for anything that might ID them. Any narcotics or medications. Schedules 1 through 5 of the Controlled Substance Act. They say documentation of herein described premises, persons, or herein described items to be seized by means of measure photography, videography, and other means deemed necessary by law enforcement or other persons assisting law enforcement, looking for any cameras, film, CCTV, photographs, negatives, DVRs, anything like that, weapons, uh, yeah, just anything. They're looking for everything. Biological fluids, including DNA. That's always what I look for. Biological fluids. DNA, blood, or trace evidence. Oh, we all like some trace evidence. Any cell phones or telephones. And they're just looking for that. What else do they say here? Yeah, this is the bit that you guys probably want to know about. Go down here. Okay. After the deputy entered the residence, he immediately observed a bathroom to the left of the front door, and the door to the bathroom was opened. Deputy Thomas advised he observed a deceased female lying on the ground near the countertop inside the bathroom. The female was observed lying on her right side. He advised she was found wearing dark gray sweatpants and a light in color sweatshirt. The female was observed to have black color hair. Deputy Thomas advised he observed a black in color space heater near the female's head. He advised he suspected the heater could have fallen in the event the female abruptly fell to the ground. He advised he also observed an orange prescription bottle on the countertop near the deceased female. The prescription bottle appeared open, with pills scattered on the countertop. On the countertop, not on the floor, on the counter in the bathroom. So, Deputy Thomas advised the female decedent showed obvious signs of death, body decomp, bloating in the face, and mummification in both hands and feet. The affiant learned Deputy Thomas and Barron continued to search the residence where they found a deceased, brown in color German Shepherd canine. The deceased canine was located approximately 10 to 15 feet from the deceased female in a closet of the bathroom. Deputy Thomas and Barron then proceeded to clear the other portions of the residence. In doing so, they observed a pair of feet and legs on the ground near the kitchen area. Deputy Thomas identified a male to be deceased in an area of the home he believed to be a mudroom. The deceased male was found wearing gray sweatpants, a blue in color long sleeve t shirt, brown slippers, and a walking cane. Deputy Thomas indicated he observed a pair of sunglasses located near the decedent's left of his body. Based on Deputy Thomas's training and experience, he suspected the male individual had suddenly fallen. So how did they both suddenly fall? That's very strange, right? That they both have this sudden falling. Deputy Thomas advised the male decedent also showed obvious signs of death and similar consistent with the female decedent. Deputy Thomas advised there were two other dogs located on the property. He advised one of the healthy dogs was initially observed near the deceased female inside the bathroom, and the other healthy dog was observed outside the residence. Deputy Thomas advised he and Barron search the remainder of the property and found all the other buildings and garage to be locked and secure. Deputy Thomas again advised he did not observe any signs of forced entry into the residence. Deputy Thomas indicated he did not observe any indication the residence had been rummaged through or items taken from inside of the residence. He advised, based on his training and experience, nothing to be out of place while clearing the residence. They say Deputy Thomas indicated he asked Roland and Jesse, they were the two contractors, when they last had contact with the homeowner. They both advised it was approximately 2 weeks prior to this day. Both individuals advised they rarely saw the owners of the residence when conducting routine maintenance on the home, but both indicated they maintained contact with the homeowners through text message and phone calls, and primarily communicated with the female homeowner identified as Betsy. The two males identified Betsy's husband and Gene Hackman. The two males identified Betsy's husband and Gene Hackman. Wait, she had a husband and a Gene Hackman? Oh, wow, lucky lady. I think they should have reworded that. They should say the two males identified Betsy's husband as Gene Hackman. See, English is for everyone. They say, however, they did not positively identify him as a deceased male. At this time, the male's true identity is unknown until further investigative research can be made/conducted. So, yeah, it's a bit strange. Yeah, they also say There is no immediate signs or indications of blunt force trauma. However, Affian is seeking to seize any blunt force objects in the event there is any indication of blunt force trauma once the medical examiner arrives on scene and conducts their initial field investigation and possible cause of death. At this time, the manner and cause of death pertaining to Eugene Jean Allen Hackman and Betsy Arakawa, their passing is unknown. Affiant believes that the circumstances surrounding the death of the two deceased individuals to be suspicious enough in nature to require a thorough search and investigation because the reporting party found the front door of the residence unsecured and opened. Deputies observed a healthy dog running loose on the property, another healthy dog near the deceased female, a deceased dog lying 10 to 15 feet from the deceased female in the closet of the bathroom, the heater being moved, the pill bottle being opened, and pills scattered next to the female, the male decedent being located in a separate room of the residence, and no obvious sign of a gas leak. That was a lot of reading. But there you go. Very odd set of circumstances. The thing that gets me is the two different rooms. If they were both found in the same room, you could make a more plausible argument of some sort of carbon monoxide poisoning. But the fact they were both found in different parts of the house makes that less likely. Not impossible, just less likely. Because different parts of your house have different like fresh air intake. And you would think, being that bathroom's not a great place because you have exhaust fans, things to get moisture out when you have a shower. Same with the mudroom. It's really close to the outside of the residence. You're going to have a lot more of a fresh air coming in, especially with that door being unlocked and unsecured. You would have more of a fresh air coming in, which helped with the mummification apparently, but it would make more sense if they were like in the bedroom or in the lounge room together. The fact that they were separated and in areas that normally have good ventilation doesn't make sense, really. It's a bit odd. Penguin said different parts of the house. I said, yeah, it's still different parts of the house. It's not like they were found like on top of each other or right next to each other holding hands or something like it's sort of around the corner. I think it's still it's not easily explainable. Like if you had someone, say you had those homes that have a carport where you drive into it and then they have a little door that goes into the kitchen or something like that. If you found them dead in the kitchen and the car was running or something with the door open, you could be like, oh, okay. So the fumes went in through the garage into the home and overwhelmed them. But this just doesn't make a lot of sense, really. It's odd. Kibby said, second theory, dog died, don't know why, wife was upset. Dog died, don't know why. Wife was upset, took too many pills accidentally. Gene was bedridden, that's why he was not as decomposed, tried to get to the door but had a heart attack. Maybe? The daughter did say in an interview today that they didn't believe that Gene had any massive medical problems that any other 95-year-old like would have any other 95-year-old wouldn't have. That he was pretty healthy for a 95. Hadn't had any major surgeries recently. Nothing like that. Carolina says not together like in a suicide pact. Yeah, so it's not together. Not too far away, but it's still a different room. It's still a different place. Yeah, what do they say? It's interesting. They give us measurements for certain other things, like where the dogs were, but they don't give us like a feet measurement for where they were apart from each other. Here. So they say they found the front door of the residence to be opened ajar, and here he immediately observed a bathroom to the left of the front door. So if you go in, and then to the left of the front door, the door to the bathroom was open. Okay. Deputy advised he observed a deceased female lying on the ground right near the front door to the left. Inside the bathroom, the female was found. Okay, we know all that. Deputy advised, where do they show they find him? Okay. Then the deputy proceeded to clear other portions of the residence. In doing so, they observed a pair of feet and legs on the ground near the kitchen area. Yeah, so they can't be that close together because when he entered through the front door, yeah, that's weird. If it's a mudroom, wouldn't the first thing they saw would be Jean, not her? That's a bit odd. Maybe they've described this poorly because they're saying that they saw her first, then proceeded, and then found Jean. Hmm. Yeah, that's a weird way of describing it. Nothing stolen. It says no items removed from premises. Yes, they are waiting for toxicology. They also ordered carbon monoxide testing to be done on both of them. At the back door, that may be what it is. Did 2 dogs die? No. 1 dog died. 2 dogs were found alive. One inside the property near the bathroom, near the female, and another dog was outside running around. The only dog that died was the German Shepherd that was in the closet in the bathroom. Ah, okay. Mudroom is usually in the back of the house near kitchen, not the front. Okay, so the bathroom was at the front of the house. If this is true, then Jean was found at the back of the house near the kitchen and the mudroom. If that's true, I don't buy the carbon monoxide poisoning. You would need so much to fill that entire area. Their home's pretty big too. It doesn't make a lot of sense. And the fact that when they brought in the gas company couldn't find a leak at the property. So it doesn't make any sense to me at all to be that spread apart and the gas company not being able to find any signs of any leak. So they did actually bring in New Mexico Gas to come in and do an evaluation, and they didn't find anything. So it must be that. Yeah, he was near the back door. Okay, okay, now we know the difference between what we were saying before. You know, we were saying like Australians don't really do that. The doors we normally have are at the front, not the back. So we have these type of little rooms, but they're at the front of the home, not the rear of the home. So that's an interesting distinguishing thing. So when I was talking about Mrs. Ping's old parents' house, their one is at the front of their property. So when you go in like the first door, then there's like a little room, and you can take your shoes off, and then you go into the next door, and there's like a lounge room, then a kitchen, then bedrooms or whatever. It's a little different. So okay, I didn't know that about a mudroom. Ah, some mudrooms have a laundry facility. I like these. I want one. I want to go to America and live in a home that has a mudroom with a laundry. That sounds awesome. More of an enclosed porch. We call it a sunroom. Most people call it a sunroom. Blaze Fairchild said, I do understand elderly people not having a lot of contact with the family. The couple were homebodies and not much interested to phone up relatives and speak on the phone. I think the daughter said she last spoke to them about a month ago, but she said that was pretty normal for their relationship, like nothing out of the ordinary. I What the hell is a sunken den? I feel like we're all just making up words now. Are we all just making up words? Please stop making up words. You're confusing the Australian. Uh, yeah, that could be true. Believe me, you don't want to live in the USA. I like the USA. I would live there. There's beautiful place. You ever been to Montana? Montana's beautiful. Nothing out there, but it's beautiful. There's so many places. I love the USA. There's so many great places. I think I could retire to Texas if I actually I'd love to live in Nebraska, to be honest. Nebraska, Kansas, even Oklahoma, Kansas, not Kansas, Texas. I love that area. Iowa's beautiful. I love that part of the world. Montana, yeah, I love Montana. I've been up there a few times, and it's so breathtaking. When you drive around out there, it's just you can see for miles, and I love that. I love that about that middle portion of the USA. It's like the tallest thing is a lamppost. Like there's nothing out there, and you can just see for miles. It's beautiful. Um, I love it. I could retire there and be very happy. Hug, hey Hug, how are you? It's really a thing, a step down into a den. I can't say I've ever seen one. Hey the cat lady, how are you? Ping, not right now. You don't want to live in the USA. We are going through it and may become Russia soon. I'll come back when it's safe. You tell me when it's safe, then I'll go live there. I'm still a few years from retirement. I'm only 40. I've still got 25 years till I have to retire. Even then, I'll probably be one of these men that work until they're like 85 or something. I'll still be 85 and doing true crime on YouTube. Yeah. You may not be becoming Russia, but are you going to become Canada? Yeah, that's right. Um, yeah, you guys are fun. Marjorie said, in recent builds in the US, a home will have a mudroom laundry in between the attached garage and the main part of the house. It's a transition area. That's what I thought it sort of. That's what I thought it sort of was. It's sort of like when you come home, you like kick off your shoes, take off anything wet because of the dreary weather, and don't travel it through the home. Lots of turmoil at the moment. Yeah, that did you guys hear about the yeah, Australia's got a lot of pain coming, trust me. We're not out of the woods either. We have an election coming up. So in about 2 months, we're going to have a national election, very similar to your like what happened in November. So we're gonna go out and vote for our prime minister. Now in Australia, voting is compulsory. If you are over the age of 18, you must vote. It is not you don't get a choice. You must vote in Australia. It is your adult obligation. It's like it's by law. So that there is no like, oh, I don't want to vote today or whatever. No, no, you have to. It's by law. You get fined if you don't. You get a massive fine, and the what are they called? The enrollment people come and bitch at you, and yeah, you have to vote here. So Australia is going to have interesting time in a couple of months. Cannot believe how much your gas is. Yeah, you should see my electricity bill. It's insane. I think it's up to like 250 a month. I pay $250 a month and I don't own anything. Like I own a computer, I have lights, I have like a washing machine, a dryer, a TV, a fan. Like that's it. And my electricity is at 250 a month. I think my water's 180 a month. And then my rent's over $2,000 a month. So it's not it's not cheap. Penguin says mudrooms rarely have windows. Oh, I want one with a window. A sunroof is different. Yeah, I want a sunroof. Yeah, so I know you guys have been having fun today in America. If you were interested in the Epstein files, they decided to invite a bunch of right-wing people to, influencers from TikTok to come and be the first people to get a binder. They must feel very special to get a binder full of public knowledge. That must be amazing. Yeah, Elizabeth says your expenses are ridiculous. Yeah, it's a lot. Paying for water is BS. I know it should be a human right. The fact that they charge you for water is disgusting. It should be part of your rates. It should be part of like the money you pay for your council. You shouldn't have to pay a separate cost. Marjorie says my mudroom has a window. I'm spoiled. Yeah, I do remember those Penguin. We had a friend that had one. Like when you went from their kitchen into their lounge room, you had to go down like one step, and they had like a little room with couches. Very cozy. Very cozy. I've always loved them. All right. Let's see what time. It's almost midnight here. It means I'm gonna probably start wrapping up in the next 10 minutes. I haven't even had dinner yet, so I haven't even eaten anything. So I should do that. Give me a sec. Let's see if I can get you one more story before we get out of here. All right. By the way, there's a lot of people that want an update about the Green Beret story that we spoke about the other night. Clinton Bonnell or Bonnell. I don't have anything. Nothing. There's been no update since they executed that search warrant at his property. There's nothing. I don't know why. Must be must be. Must be still under investigation. We had a look at some of that chopper footage last night, which was super impressive, and watching them go through that property. If you don't know what I'm talking about and you didn't watch last night's show, hold on. I'll play you a little video from 11 ABC.
For a missing Green Beret in Cumberland County.
This is unfolding today as well. Authorities executing a search warrant at the home of 50-year-old Clinton Bonnell on Butler Nursery Road and Gainey Road. That's also near a pond where a body was found yesterday evening.
Monique John joins us live now from that search area. Monique, a lot of questions still out there tonight.
Yes, it's a chilling case, and we do have a lot of questions here, really trying to make connections, if there are any here, as the Cumberland County Sheriff's Office is conducting that search warrant here in this area by Clinton Bonnell's home off of Butler Nursery Road. Now, again, as far as the body that was found in the pond nearby, over off of Gainey Road, about 5 minutes away, that body still needs to be identified, and authorities are not directly connecting that body that was found to the disappearance case of Clinton Bonnell just yet. But we did speak to a representative from the sheriff's office.
So that's just the story of the Green Beret, Clinton. Now, we heard some interesting details last night, including that he sent messages saying that he was on his way home and his car was in the driveway, but he was never seen again. Yet they found a body on this like lake in his property or just down the road. Um, and his wife is not giving any media interviews. She didn't report him missing, and the sister of Clinton had to be the one to report him missing and do all the media. Yet his wife, who apparently they were going to separate or divorce, wouldn't do anything. Didn't want to do anything regarding him being not at home or missing or whatever. And then they found that body yesterday, and they brought in a cadaver dog, which was very strange. If they've already found the body, why do they need a cadaver dog? Then we witnessed them on that aerial footage taping up the home's windows with black garbage bags as if it's a crime scene, and they're going to do luminol or some sort of forensic examination of the home. Very weird, very strange. But since this search warrant was done yesterday, no update, no media press conference, nothing on Thursday. So Pinterest has great pics of mudrooms. I'll have to have a look. Another 2,000 pages of the Epstein files. Be very interesting. I'm not a big political person, or at least I am, but I don't talk about it on the channel. I feel like it's too divisive, and I feel like all of us, while most of us are good people, it's not worth not being friends over small differences to our beliefs in regards to politics, because I feel like we all come from slightly different backgrounds and we all value certain smaller things slightly differently. So I just think it's easier not to talk about it and just be friends instead. Google a mudroom. I feel like I'm going to get a whole heap of Japanese naked photos or something. Hold on. Fine, I'll Google it. Okay. Yeah, this is sort of what I thought it looked like. Like here, I'll show you the photo that I saw. So this is sort of what I thought. Like, you know, there's a door, and then you come in, there's like a bench, like I described it. You sit down, you take your shoes off, and you put any dirty laundry in, you know, a hamper or something, and you put on your coat to go out or grab your handbag if you're a lady. Grab a hat or something. Like, that's what I thought. Yeah. Wendy R says, "Don't suspect all those files will ever be made available." Probably not. Probably not. Hey Kim, how are you? It's good to see you, my friend. Marjorie said it's actually quite a British country house thing. Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. We better start winding down. I wonder if you guys like the morning shows. It's something that we could do. I'm often up this late at night wanting to talk true crime. So if you enjoy these morning shows, let me know. You want Ping to do morning true crime? We could make that happen. We could make that happen. Uh Penguin said that's not a mudroom. Need a second set of doors. Keep the cold from blowing in. Okay. When I googled it, that was like the first image. Hold on. Let me find a different one. I mean, okay, I see one with the laundry. This is great. Like, I so want this. If Ping ever buys a house, this is what I want. Wait, why is it doing that? It's being really stupid. Hold on. Oh, okay. I'll have to upload it for you. This one looks really good. Look at this. It's got the laundry. It's got like a back door. It's even got cabinets for people. I love it. It's like you have a sports team, like an NFL team. I love this. This is what a great idea to have the little cupboards for everyone. So you can put your like your coat and your umbrella or whatever. It's great. I love it. We need I'm gonna you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna run for office in Australia, and I'm gonna make Australia great again by bringing back mudrooms. That's what I'm gonna do. Catatonic said, "Yeah, nights are better for me." Okay. Penguin loves the morning show. Thank you. Yeah, okay. Iris Girl said, "I work 12 hours, 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. So anytime, all good." Well, we'll be back on. We're going to be back on at the 8:30 p.m. Eastern from Monday. So I hope we'll see a lot more of these names again. LMS says there's a ton of variation nowadays. Mudrooms is not traditional anymore. Okay. Hey, Reby, how are you? Where have you been? Do you know that you now have a hurricane coming right towards you? You know, poor Reby had the floods, and now she's going to have a hurricane coming right for her. Here, I'll show you. So we go here, and it's a category 4 right now. So there's a monster hurricane coming down the coast, like what we call a cyclone, coming down near Bundaberg and the Sunshine Coast and Brisbane and Mackay or Mackay, St. Lawrence, Rockhampton, what everyone calls Rocky. Bundaberg has a drink named after it. But yeah, big hurricane. Oh, you guys can't see it. Good work, Ping. Take down the photo. There you go. So this big category 4 cyclone coming down the coast of Australia right now. Poor Reby. Getting all the bad weather. Yeah, in Australia. Hey, my friend, how are you? Good to see you. I just thank you for all your help before. I really do appreciate it. Thank you very much. Grizzly says, I try to pop in, but I do listen to your replays. Thank you, my sweet friend. Thank you for your nice comments and everything. I do appreciate it. It's an interesting life being a YouTuber. But hey, I'm here to make friends. I'm here to make friends and talk to people. I actually may have an interview lined up. I don't want to talk too early on it, but because last time I did, this person pulled out at the last minute. So, wait, that sounded wrong. Yes, that's fine. Yeah, they backed out at the last minute, but I think we've come to an agreement maybe. So hold on. I don't think it'll hit Brisbane. I think it's probably going to like travel down the coast and then disintegrate. As you get further down the coast, the water temperature gets colder. The cyclone can't feed itself from the warm water anymore, and it collapses because it doesn't have that driving force, which is that really warm tropical moist water, and what they call sea surface temperature, which drives these hurricanes and cyclones. So as it gets further south, it's not going to have that feeding that if you think of a hurricane like an engine or a like an animal and you have to feed it, it can't. It's getting no fuel, so it's not going to continue. It's going to degrade and eventually die out. That's probably why you're seeing it here. It goes from a category 4 down to a category 2 as it gets a couple hundred miles down the coast because that sea surface temperature is dropping the further it gets south here. So it doesn't have anything to continue that combustion. Combustion? No, convection. Thunderstorm convection. So Ruby says, I've been busy and depressed in all the feels. Even got a new cat to try and make myself feel better. His name is Ollie. Send me a photo of Ollie. I'll show it on the show tomorrow. Okay. But Ruby, I love you, my friend. Please don't be depressed. Okay. Ping loves you. And I love all the help you've given me over the years. I appreciate it. There's always more fun things to do in life, I promise. Ping has had one of the most awful early parts of my life, and I remember days where I was like, is this exactly what my life is going to be? And if I look back now 20 years from back then, I don't think I could ever have dreamed that what happened in those following 20 years would ever have happened. I would never think I'd be on YouTube doing true crime and doing podcasts and things like that. You never know what's in the future, and you just gotta believe there's always a way out. Eventually, I promise you, there is eventually a light at the end of the tunnel. Sometimes you have to wait a little bit longer. Sometimes it happens quicker. Sometimes you have to go through some crap, but eventually you'll get there. Hey, I love you all so much. Like jury duty, that's right. I love you all so much. I hope you have a great Friday out there. Have a great Friday out there in the USA. And for my Australians, have a great Saturday morning. I'll be back Friday evening tomorrow around midnight, and we'll do this all over again. Okay, we'll have some more fun. Give me 1 sec. Let me check one thing. We always check it before we leave, just so people don't feel left out. By the way, I want to thank this person, my friend Nick. Nick, thank you so much. Thank you so much for your membership that went through the what do they call it? The coffee thing. I appreciate it. It's very kind of you. Love you all. I will see you tomorrow at midnight. Have a great day out there, everyone. Good morning. Bye.